Michael, hello. I have to tell you some very ugly facts. I'll use my American accent so it doesn't fuck you up. Okay? You won't be offended? Please don't be offended if I use my American accent. I've got to tell a story. I can't make the mask of my face move. It's not going to be as fun as I would normally like it to be. But I have to tell you. I have to tell you a sad story. I don't want you to cry, so don't cry. Are you ready? Alright, we're going to have to walk and tell the story. Just because. Long time ago, when the earth was young, and it wasn't old like it is now, or middle-aged, when the earth was very young, didn't have any hair on its vagina yet, it was still bald in the pubis area, still very bald. A lot of things that live in the world today had not yet arrived. They weren't here. And some things that you have never imagined were here upon the earth. There was this thing, I don't know what you call it, because the people would not speak of its name. It was horrible. It was a horrible thing. And there's really no way to describe it. There's not ever been anything like it on the earth before. And not ever since. To say it was a giant would be wrong. Because it could also be incredibly small. So it wasn't like a giant. But it was. It was a giant too. It was very large. It could fill up the whole earth. It could reach to the sky and just fill the whole earth. And it was dark. Completely black. It was blacker than black. When it stretched itself out, you couldn't shine a light and see it. The light would be sucked up from this thing. Hold on. Birds, hello. Good morning. Birds, good morning. I say good day. Did you hear me? No. Don't you come out this door. Mr. Rooster, don't come out here. Don't you escape. If you go out there, you'll be lost. I won't have you no more. You won't likely survive the first night. I know you think you're a badass. I love it. I think you're a badass. But you ain't got shit on what's out there. Rooster doesn't know. The rooster was not around on the earth when this happened. There was no roosters. No roosters, no koala bears, no platypus. There were no ring-tailed, whatever you call those, marmot things. Some sort of... There were no ferrets. There were no soft-shelled tortoise. There were no emus. There was a few other animals that weren't there. This creature does not come from the earth, though. This creature had originally came from the sky. The thing was so horrible. This thing was so horrid, and it was so evil. It was jealous. It was envious. It was angry. It was deceitful. It was cunning. It was deceptive. All manners of horrors had begun with this thing. This creature had tried to steal heaven from God. You hear what I said? This being had went to war on God. This did not make sense. No one understood how this could be, because you can't do that. But we have lost another branch. We have been spared yet again. These storms which came were so violent that it had returned me to this remembrance. There was not yet man upon the earth. There were no men. There were no apes. There wasn't even Sasquatch. He wasn't even here yet. It's not here. In this time, all the people that were on the earth had to come together. There was no way to deal with life with this thing on the earth. Life could not be. The earth could not support life. Things were going to die. Everything would die. We cried out to God, and there was no answer. There was no answer from God. God says, for a very long time, nothing. It's just silence. And then one of the children of our peoples, we're different. We're not like you. We're a slightly different race of people. We are I can't give you our name. It's not important. It is true that the children began to prophesy. They began to speak these words, these utterances that had not been heard on the earth before. The children had received from God a message, and they were instructed what needed to be done. So everyone came together. There was a unification of all the people upon the earth, like has never been and will never be again. The focus, the will, the desire for all the people to live unified against this thing that was death. For us, it was death. All it was death. If there was life, it would expand and swallow that life. If there was movement, it would expand and halt the movement. Everything that was done, that people do or could do or would want to do, this thing had issue of it. It's totally evil. It suffered no life. It suffered no life. Since the time that far back, there has not been upon the earth this thing. And there was this thing from it. After it was slain, the people could slay it. All they had to do was unite, and unite against it, to see that it was death, it would not be able to deny what it was. It was death. And death does not suffer life. But it was death like it was death. It didn't die. It didn't cause you to die. It was death. Not the same thing. And hell was here too. And it's not a place, it was a being named Hell. There's hell now. Hell is the being. The being is hell. Last night, I had a dream. And I had a dream that this thing returned. And it was so terrifying. I woke poured in sweat from the head of my body to the tail of my tippy-tailed bone. But I had not, for so long, thought anything of it anymore. It was like a memory of something so far in the past. I didn't even really think I was alive or had the experience. I didn't remember that it had happened to me. In my mind, I thought it was a thing that had occurred, and I began to doubt it ever really having occurred. I wasn't sure if it was real anymore. And I think the creature was able to slip back into the sky or whatever the hell it came from. The thing, it defies God, but it is created of God. It is a thing that is defying its own self in existing. To exist, this thing existeth not. Like I said, not on the earth has there ever been a thing like was unto this thing. This is why when you people try to tell your stories, you tell your stories and no one believes you. They said, these people they've made this up. They've made this story up. This is partly why this is the way it is. No eye could see the thing that didn't witness a form of its existing that is it too. It is of a different entire reality. It's an unnatural, natural thing. Created by God for existence to be. Because now the earth is solid. Maybe it wasn't solid back then. But now it is. It took a while. Everything began to congeal once it was gone. Began to stabilize. But before, I could pass my hand through anything if I moved my hand fast. I could do it. There was nothing that could hold you back. You could run through a wall, you could run through the wall. As long as you were running, you would go through the wall. It doesn't make sense. But that was the way things were in the prior times, before man was upon the earth. But we were upon the earth, and our fathers were upon the earth, and they that brought them here from the heavenly realms. So this is just a bit of history. But last night, I thought the thing had returned. I thought it had returned because normally there was something that would happen that always had happened before, because this thing had died. So this would occur. And it wasn't bad, but it was. And when it did not occur, the terror began to rise. For I had thought, perhaps this thing has returned. Perhaps it's coming back. I don't believe that now. I think it's just a mistake. I think I might have just remembered something. I don't think there's anything to worry about, unless there is, of course. Unless there is. But this thing, it would pretend to love you, and it would make you become very desirous of it. And the things that became in love, or what is the word to say? If you became enamored by this beautiful thing in its beauty, that you got too close to it, if you got too close and it began to wrap around your mind, it would wrap around your mind and begin its embrace with you. And if you did not want its embrace or love it or have passionate feelings for it, you would only have desire for it if you were able to see it. Being a mortal and lesser being, you would not be able to withstand the image of beauty. It would overtake you and consume you completely. You couldn't endeavor to be around such a thing. All things fall into its trap. There has never been a thing that had beheld the beauty of the glorious one that was not consumed thereby. We have speculated amongst ourselves, we of the Gaijin tribe, your older brothers, we are the Gaijin. We tell ourselves that this must be a blessing in disguise. For many things that are said of the Creator are embodied of this thing. The beauty, the glory. It does not trouble us to attribute the glory and the beauty and the power to such a thing as we beheld. We speculate that it is that no longer is there a thing beheld anywhere in heaven or upon the earth whereby which the earth can be known to be made from, that the children of men can witness. You don't even know. You don't even believe. You don't know. But we have seen it. We do not just know. We are fearful. We tremble because we have seen it. Our eyes have beheld the thing and what it does and what it is. They tell stories of a devil, Lucifer, Satan, all jumbled up. The story is not correct. It's all jumbled up. The Creator created the being because the Creator is the being. The Creator cannot go to war upon himself. That's foolishness. But this occurs, that the world may exist. This has happened so that the earth may be. Before it, there was no earth. The earth did not exist like this. It was not solid. It was not the same. And we try to tell you these things. We pass long traditions down, long stories of remembrance that we have told, our fathers have told us and told our sons to our younger sons, all the way back to the dawning of the first light of time. And I believed last night this thing had returned, or was going to return, or it could be. But I think it was just a nightmare. So don't worry about it. Oh, don't worry. Just Josh and you. Perhaps it's better that you don't know such things. Not able to believe, and in not seeing, not able to receive with your eye the sight, then what good is it? It may be that these things not existing for you, but for me, maybe they don't exist anymore. Or never they did. I can't say. I don't know. It is a new possibility begins to arise, because I believe I had seen these things in my youth, and I began to question that in my golden years. I've begun to question if this was something that I had seen, and I remember it. So, what do you make of it? I cannot rightly say. I cannot rightly say. But you can. When you observe a thing that you will observe before this earth is over, because whatever began the world will be here to end it.